Have you ever wondered why some people seem to drain all your energy, leaving you exhausted and unmotivated? In a world where we are increasingly surrounded by negativity, learning to protect our energy is more than a necessity, it's a matter of emotional survival. The truth is, no matter how friendly or familiar these people may be, their impact can be devastating. It's not just about physical tiredness, they drain our motivation, peace, and even our joy. And the most curious part? Few people actually know how to shield themselves from these influences. Many spend their lives trying to avoid the problem or simply believe it's impossible to solve. But what if I told you there's a way to remain untouched, even around these people? With the right techniques, you can preserve your energy and live in a balanced way without anyone destabilizing you. The best part? You don't have to distance yourself from everyone or live in isolation, just apply some of the strategies we'll explore here. So, are you ready to learn what few have mastered? Come with me and discover how to practically and effectively shield your energy, building a powerful barrier against anyone who tries to bring you down. It's time to take control and reclaim your peace. Have you noticed how, after a conversation with certain people, you often feel drained, almost as if your energy has been stolen? These people, often known as energy vampires, have the uncanny ability to drain our motivation and leave a trail of exhaustion. They can show up in various forms: friends, co-workers, even family members. Identifying these vampires is an essential step in protecting your mental and emotional peace, as the first step to defend yourself is to recognize who is subtly draining your energy. These individuals frequently have a negative outlook on life and seem to be experts in complaining about their problems. Interestingly, they excel at drawing others' attention, sharing their dramas and challenges, but rarely seek solutions. It's the person who constantly asks for advice but never applies anything you suggest. It's as if your role is only to listen and absorb all the weight they bring. Recognizing this behavior allows you to set boundaries, knowing that you don't have to carry the weight of their world on your shoulders. Another classic sign of these vampires is their constant need to criticize or belittle others. They have a habit of making subtle, yet sharp comments about your appearance, achievements, or decisions, always leaving a lingering sense of doubt. It's as if, by putting others down, they gain a dose of self-confidence. Being attentive to these traits enables you to protect your energy, and over time, you learn to shield yourself from their negative influence, preparing to deal with them even more effectively as we continue. One of the most powerful techniques to deal with such people is called the mirror technique. Imagine holding an invisible mirror between you and that person trying to criticize or affect you with their negative words. By doing this, their energy hits the mirror and bounces back to them, leaving you untouched. It's like an invisible barrier that protects you. Keeping this visualization during challenging conversations can be a game changer for preserving your emotional balance. For this technique to work, it's essential that you stay calm and don't let yourself be carried away by anger or the urge to respond in kind. Avoiding impulsive reactions is the key here. Instead of direct confrontation, choose neutral phrases like, "I understand what you're saying," or "interesting point of view." This type of response prevents them from achieving what they're truly seeking, an emotional reaction. In this way, not only do you avoid letting the negative energy in, but you also create a reflective space that disarms the other person. Practicing this technique can be transformative, especially with people who constantly seek conflict. Over time, you'll notice that they tire of insisting when they don't get what they want. And the most interesting part is that, without realizing it, you'll be keeping your energy intact while training your own resilience. This is just the beginning of a set of techniques that will prepare you to handle any situation with serenity. Another valuable resource is the art of redirection. When facing a negative person, instinct often leads us to listen passively or even to match their frequency of complaints. But what if, instead, you could steer the conversation in a more positive direction? Imagine that, when hearing someone constantly complain about work, you respond with something like, "I understand, so what do you think could make your day better?" This simple shift in focus can make all the difference in preserving your energy. The idea here isn't to invalidate the other person's feelings, but rather to avoid getting trapped in the negative spiral they create. When you suggest solutions or point out positive aspects, it encourages the person to think constructively, which not only preserves your energy but can also positively influence the environment around you. Over time, this type of response can even inspire the other person to adopt a more optimistic outlook. This kind of redirection also strengthens your own posture, helping you keep control of the conversation without being sucked in. Practicing redirection in different situations makes this skill become second nature, turning it into an automatic response. This simple adjustment in how you interact is one of many tools that will give you greater control over where you invest your attention and energy. When someone tries to put you down or make a demeaning comment, a powerful strategy is to calmly ask them to repeat what they just said. Phrases like, "Could you say that again?" or "I'd like you to repeat that," can be surprisingly effective. Often, these people expect you to react with anger or discomfort, but by asking them to repeat it, you turn the tables. This simple request forces them to reflect on what they've just said, putting them in an uncomfortable position. Instead of responding with anger or offense, ask something like, "Did you really mean that?" or "What was the purpose of that comment?" This type of question subtly confronts the other person, making them reconsider their behavior. Many times, they're left speechless or even back off, realizing the impact of their words. In this way, you prevent that negativity from settling in your mind and still maintain control of the situation.
Want to transform your life from the inside out? Check out our ebook with practical tools for real change. Go to the pinned comment, click the link, and see how to start your transformation today.
This technique is also useful for boosting your self-esteem and protecting your energy. By not automatically absorbing negative comments, you prevent them from impacting your mood or self-worth. Over time, you become less vulnerable to these types of attacks and more prepared to deal with people who would otherwise drain your energy and peace. The practice of non-reaction is a powerful tool to conserve your energy. When you encounter someone clearly looking for an emotional response, whether through criticism or provocation, the best response can often be simply not to react. Negative people frequently hope to see you upset or defensive, fueling their need for confrontation. By remaining calm and serene, you deny them the satisfaction they seek. To apply this technique, take a deep breath and remind yourself that not everything deserves a response. In some cases, silence is the most effective response, as it demonstrates self-control and strength. If you need to respond, do so in a neutral and unemotional manner, like a simple, "I understand," or "okay." This way, you convey the message that your peace is not for sale and that you won't be manipulated by provocations. This preserves your energy and reinforces your position. Over time, the practice of non-reaction becomes a habit, and negative people tend to distance themselves, seeking targets who react. Non-reaction is not weakness, but a sign of emotional maturity and control over your energy. It's a form of shield that strengthens you and shows that you are in control of your responses, not allowing others to drain your balance. The broken record technique is especially useful when dealing with persistent people who don't respect your space. Basically, it involves calmly repeating the same phrase consistently, no matter what the other person says. For example, if someone tries to convince you to do something you're uncomfortable with, a response like, "I've made my decision and I'm not changing my mind," said calmly and firmly, can be enough to disarm them. This method is effective because it shows that you won't give in to pressure, without the need for lengthy discussions or explanations. The more you repeat the phrase without emotion, the clearer it becomes that you are unwavering and will not be persuaded. It's like putting a solid barrier between you and the insistent person without wasting your energy on unnecessary explanations. The calm and controlled repetition frustrates the other person, who usually gives up in the face of your firmness. In time, you'll find that the broken record technique not only preserves your energy but also strengthens your confidence and assertiveness. After all, there's no need to convince anyone of your choices, just stay true to what you believe. By applying this technique, you show respect for yourself and become less vulnerable to external pressures, creating a shield against negativity. The gray rock method is a strategy for dealing with manipulative or attention-seeking individuals. The idea is to make yourself as uninteresting as possible, like a gray rock that doesn't stand out or give emotional responses. In situations where someone tries to involve you in drama or gossip, keeping your responses short and neutral, like "oh, really," or "I see," can discourage them. Over time, they tend to lose interest because you're not giving them the emotional energy they crave. When you respond in a neutral, emotionless way, the person realizes they won't get the impact they were expecting from you. This is particularly effective with people who seek any kind of reaction to fuel their ego. Avoiding giving details or seeming engaged reduces the appeal of the interaction, leading the person to seek someone else for their needs. Without the emotional fuel they expected, their impact on you weakens significantly. Adopting the gray rock method requires practice and patience, but it's incredibly efficient for protecting your peace and preserving your energy. This approach lets you handle difficult people in a way that avoids conflict and emotional drains, keeping you calmer and more in control of your interactions. It's just one more step in creating an environment that respects and keeps your energy intact. The mental delete technique is a practical way to eliminate negative comments or unnecessary criticism from your mind. Imagine there's a delete button in your head that you can press to erase anything that doesn't serve you. When someone makes a nasty or purposeless comment, visualize mentally deleting it. This practice helps prevent those words from lingering in your mind, protecting your self-esteem and energy. It's not about ignoring all feedback, but about choosing what really matters. Comments intended to hurt or diminish don't deserve space in your mind. When someone says something offensive, practice thinking, "that comment doesn't define me." Then, visualize pressing the delete button. This simple gesture creates a barrier between you and negativity, leaving your mind cleaner and lighter. With practice, the mental delete technique will make you more resistant to baseless criticism and attacks. This process frees you up to focus on positive and productive thoughts without carrying the weight of others' opinions. After all, preserving your energy also means choosing which thoughts deserve your attention and which ones should be discarded. The compliment redirection strategy is a powerful technique for dealing with negative people in a gentle and effective way. When someone begins to criticize or complain, you can surprise them with a genuine compliment, shifting the focus away from negativity. For example, if a coworker is complaining about a project, you might respond with something like, "I really admire how much you care about your work." This disarms the person and makes them reflect on their own behavior. This approach works because it's hard for someone to continue complaining when they're met with positivity. An unexpected compliment has the power to break the cycle of negativity and change the tone of the conversation. By steering the interaction toward a more positive angle, you not only protect your own energy but also create a lighter and more productive environment. In addition to maintaining your balance, this technique can help create healthier and more harmonious relationships. Negative people tend to be less aggressive when they see that you're not an easy target. Over time, this redirection habit becomes natural, allowing you to maintain a positive energy field around you, even in challenging situations. Viewing your energy as a valuable investment is key to avoiding unnecessary drains. Just as you wouldn't waste your money on something worthless, you shouldn't spend your energy on interactions or people who don't bring anything positive to your life. Before engaging in a conversation or situation, ask yourself, is this a worthwhile use of my time and energy? This simple question can transform the way you deal with your surroundings. The energy investment mindset helps you become more selective and intentional about where you place your attention. Over time, you'll notice that certain people and situations only drain your strength, while others genuinely elevate your spirit. By prioritizing environments and interactions that energize you, you create a more balanced and fulfilling routine, where your energy is preserved for what truly matters. This approach isn't selfish but rather a wise form of self-care. When you choose to invest your energy in activities and people that inspire you, you become more productive and motivated. This creates a richer, less exhausting life, where your energy is a protected resource, applied with purpose. By adopting this mindset, you open yourself to a new level of emotional well-being. Now that you know these techniques to protect your energy, why not start applying them? Think about the situations and people that usually drain you and try putting what you've learned here into practice. How would your life change if, instead of being affected by others' negativity, you could maintain your peace and even influence the environment around you? True transformation begins when you decide to become the guardian of your own energy. So, are you ready for this change? Try each of these strategies and discover which one works best for you. Remember, the power is in your hands, and your peace depends on the choices you make. Now, share in the comments what you think of these techniques and whether you've had experiences with people who drain your energy. Share your insights and strengthen your journey. Oh, and if you found this content useful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to receive more tips on transforming your life for the better. See you in the next video.